Not only am I the first one on the dance floor, but I make sure to grab as many people. So either like the morning, let's say this morning I thought about it and the next morning I didn't. No, I'm not gonna lie, it took me about 4 months of marinating that thought with my career.
Hey everyone, welcome to tonight's episode of Social Commerce. We are so lucky to have Nadav Solimany here with us tonight. He's a guru in finance and fitness. He's totally high vibe. And I am super lucky that I get to work with him as my coach and mentor. So he has a pretty cool story. And we're going to find out about that as he answers the 14 questions that every guest answers on Social Commerce Give It Up. So welcome, Nadav. Thank you for being here tonight.
I'm glad to be here. Thank you for that awesome intro, by the way.
Of course. Okay, so I think you watched a couple of episodes, so you're going to get to answer your 14 questions, and we're going to see what you have to say about you and other things. So,
good.
All right. Are you ready for question one?
Absolutely.
Okay, so question one, what are you doing as your passion, profession, and why?
So what I do as my profession and what my passion is, obviously the same, not obvious, but it is the same, and that I help change people's lives by health and fitness. I help people learn to create new habits. I help people believe in themselves. I help people and support them along their life journey, right? Because we all go through a journey in life. And I want to make sure that I can reach out and inspire and support as many people as possible to live their best life, because we live it once. And I really believe that everybody should live as happy as I am, or even more. I really believe that, and that's what pushes me every single day, and that is my passion.
Wow. So how did you get to this point, this journey?
So that's a great question, and there is a little story behind it. So although I am a health and fitness coach, by the way, I'm thinking of titling it a life coach now also in there, because that's what I've noticed that we sort of get to with my coaching calls and my clients and stuff like that. It's more of a life coaching. But anyway, so a little backstory. My passion is fitness, and it's always been fitness. Since I was 16, I grew up here in the States, but then I moved to Israel and I moved back, right? So in Israel, when I was 16, you need a doctor's appointment, a doctor's note to actually go to the gym. And I love the gym so much. Yeah, you need a doctor's note to actually go to the gym when you turn 16. When a day before my birthday, I was ready. I already booked the doctor's appointment for the next day. January 17th came along. I got that doctor's note. I went and signed up for the gym. And that was 16, right? Now I'm 36, so it's a while ago. And that is how much I loved fitness, right? Because when I was able to, I went there. Now, did I actually pursue that? I did not. Why? Because I believe that, or at least how I grew up, right? We want to make sure that we make a good living. We want to make sure that we're financially stable, right? We want to make sure that we work in a certain space or industry that could give me that financial freedom if I work hard, study, if I go to college or whatnot. So I went.
Was there also, oh, sorry, interrupting you, but were there expectations like from your family, people around you?
Absolutely.
Was there a little bit of like guidance towards a certain thing to do?
So my parents, especially my mom, her dad, so my grandpa, he's a doctor, and they're very, very like educated driven. Like, you know, back in the day, there was like, if you don't go to school and you don't study and you don't get good grades, you're not like, it's not good, right? I'm not going to say you're not worth it, because I've never gotten that vibe from my parents directly, but I know that my parents got it from their parents. Like my mom for sure got that from her dad, but she is just an amazing woman that she didn't bring that. She filtered that and she didn't tell that, give us, my sister and I, that feeling that she got. So yes, I did get I had a lot of expectations, or my mom had, and my parents had a lot of expectations for me going to school, going to college, university, whatever that is. And actually, you know, how they all want you to be a doctor, a lawyer, something in that sense. Did I do that? I did not do that, but I did get a degree in, you know, in finance, business management and finance. And that's also thanks to my sister, which got the degree with me. So we did it together. It was a little easier because I wasn't that I wasn't that interested in going to school. I actually very much hated school. But I went through college. I got my degree and all that good stuff. So yes, I had a lot of expectations from them in the sense of doing something completely different, but I did go to finance. So before my health and fitness company that I created, I was in finance. I did, you know, I was in the Wall Street realm. I was dealing with hundreds of thousands of dollars as a brokerage. And then after that, I have my other finance business here that up until today, it's still open, but I don't utilize that. I don't really work in that business anymore. I had a alternative lending financing business. So
oh wow, amazing.
I had that. And then what clicked was the fact that I told myself that I want to finally do something that I'm passionate about, not because there, not because I can make a good living. And I told myself, and this was the very first time that I did that. So that's how I got to fitness, because I told myself, if I throw away like the finance part and all that, what do I really want to do that can help others? And that's the fitness and the health and all that. And that's, you know, how I got to it. Hopefully that answered your question. I know I sort of talked about
it did. No, no, that's amazing. And how quickly did you transition? Did you do it all at once? Did you do it in stages? Did you just take the leap? What did you do?
So I took a big leap, I would say, into this business. It took me, I'm not going to say I did it like the morning, let's say this morning I thought about it and the next morning I did it. No, I'm not going to lie. It took me about 4 months of marinating that thought. Within those 4 months, I started doing some research. What kind of fitness company I don't want to do in person? What do I want to do online? So I started writing down all the values in what I want to do. And I started writing down, what do I actually want to do? If I could do anything in the world, what would it be? I narrowed that down to 3 different things. And back to then, yeah. So it was traveling, it was making a good living, right, financially, and being able to impact as many people's lives as possible. And then those 3 things got me to where I'm at right now, because as you know, I like to travel. And when I travel, I still, you know, work with my clients, and I'm still impacting people, and I'm still working. So that's.
I know. I love all the poolside shots. That's so cool. That's like the dream.
Yeah.
So I had one more question before we move on. So you were mentioning that you handled large sums of money at one point in your career. So I also, from knowing you and speaking with you, I think you have pretty big goals for NS Fitness Academy in terms of its future growth. So my question to you is, does being familiar with and handling large sums of money create a greater ease in having that abundance come into your own business, like the visualization, the feeling of it, versus, for example, never having dealt with large sums of money? Does that make you more like prepared for it, I guess, so to speak?
That's an amazing question, actually. And I was talking about that in my retreat. As you know, I was in a coaching retreat, in a business retreat in Puerto Rico. And I was with amongst 20 something different coaches, right? Like myself. And that came up a few times, and they called it money mindset, right? Just like you mentioned.
Yes.
They mentioned money mindset. And what I've noticed, that I was one of the few, if not the only, that didn't need that lesson that was taught around money mindset, because I've seen large amounts of money. I've seen that many times. It became a normal thing for me. So for me, I like to answer your question, that definitely helped. The fact that I went through that in my lifetime, that definitely 100% helped. And I can see that from the 20 coaches that were, that I was with in Puerto Rico. They were completely like on a different wavelength than I was in money mindset. For me, it was weird on how they're thinking. I was like, wait, like, this is normal. They're like, no, it's not. Like, yeah.
That's very interesting. And I don't know, I personally believe that experiences are presented to us along the way to prepare us for what's coming. But kind of like training on the spot, so to speak.
I agree, 100%. 100%.
Okay, very cool. All right, so that was a cool answer to question 1. Moving on to question 2. So what profession would you never want to do, and why?
Oh, what profession I would never want to do and why? I would never want to work in a cemetery. I don't know if that's a profession or maybe that's a job.
Well, job, profession, something.
That's what came to my mind.
Yes.
I would never want to work in that kind of place because I don't know, the people that do, like, good for them. We obviously need them, but for me, that would be just something that I would never want to do ever.
Yeah, it would be pretty solemn compared to your day-to-day now. Definitely.
Yeah, I would never want to do that. And if you're looking for a profession, that's my answer, actually. Yeah,
that works for me. I totally get it. Okay. Question 3. Do you like going to libraries or bookstores and being surrounded by real books?
Barnes and Nobles. So I'm glad that you asked that, because I don't know if you saw that in I think it was 2 weeks ago in my stories. When I was growing up, I hated reading. I hated books. I hated anything that has to do with studying, school.
That's what you said, yeah.
Yeah, I hated that. But obviously, when, growing up later and working in the finance, and obviously I want to get smarter and learn more skills and stuff like that. So I listen a lot to YouTube, right? Like motivational stuff, learn all kinds of things.
Me too, yeah.
I started listening to audiobooks on Audible and Amazon, and I bought like this prescription or subscription that I get like 1 or 2 books every month. And I started with that while I was walking and stuff like that. And I noticed that I cannot focus. So I'm listening to audiobooks, but I'm not really learning anything. I'm just I'm hearing it. I'm not listening to it,
Right.
So like goes from one ear and goes out the other kind of thing. So recently I have like 5 books here that I bought recently. I started I love going to Barnes and Nobles. I love reading books now. And I'm shocked that I'm actually in that point in my life where I could tell myself that I'm truly authentically happy and excited to wake up in the morning because I have a half an hour of reading in my morning routine that I.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
I'm excited about it. So to answer your question, I love going into Barnes and Nobles. I haven't been in a library for a while because I don't know if they still exist. Maybe they do, but
they do in Canada. We've got a couple.
Cool. So maybe they do here too, but I love Barnes and Nobles. Yes, I do love books.
It's true. In Canada, the bookstore is called Indigo Chapters. So get what you're saying. You walk in, all brand new books, coffee in the background. It's pretty cool. Yes. I mean, it used to be cool. It's not really open right now, but yeah.
Right.
For sure. And I think that's actually pretty amazing that you dislike school so much. And yet, obviously, by your environment or, the structure that you had in your life, you still were very educated and you went very far with that, even though you didn't like it. So that says a lot about structure and discipline to me, and action, right? Action.
Yes. Action.
Okay. So what is the most daring thing that you have ever done?
Something daring. Well, obviously, what pops in my mind is skydiving, because I went
Oh,
skydiving unintentionally. Like, I didn't know. It was a surprise.
intentionally?
So it was a surprise from one of my exes that she told me on my birthday, okay, let's get in the car. We're going somewhere. I was like, okay, where are we going? Don't worry, it's a surprise. So we start driving and driving. This was in Israel. And we drove for about an hour. And then I I start seeing like these little small planes, and I start seeing like,
Oh.
I still didn't get it. But then I saw like the sign with the parachute on there. I was like, oh my goodness, I think I'm going skydiving for the first time in my life, not knowing. And I loved it. I'm
Yeah.
that crazy person that would go ahead and do it, you know, although I was scared, because it's human and natural to be scared, but I loved it. And I think that was the
Wow.
most daring thing that I've done.
Yes. Wow, that's pretty daring. Yeah. Are you afraid of heights at all? Are you good at heights?
No, no, I wouldn't say I'm afraid of heights, because I wouldn't have gone on that plane if I was.
Okay, cool. So what is something that you wish you had said yes to?
Something that I wish I would say yes to. I don't think I have something that I said that I would. No, I probably don't have anything, because I really believe that all the yeses that I said and all the nos that I said, they were meant to be. So
great.
That's
awesome. That's perfect. So no regrets.
Yeah, exactly. No regrets.
What is a pivotal moment that changed things for you?
Ooh, that's okay. So I think we touched on this a little bit in the beginning. So the pivotal moment for me was shifting my mindset for my career, going from financially driven, money driven, like security, safety, all that, to passion and love, and actually loving doing what I'm about to do every morning. And that's a huge pivotal moment and shift in my mindset, which actually, I took action and it happened. Yeah, I would say that's the best thing that I've ever done. Although although I'm still learning and going through the entrepreneurial, journey and all that, but I'm so happy that I did it when I did it, and not in 5 and 10 and 20 years from now, because the longer I would have waited, that means the less people I would have impacted in my life.
Absolutely. Definitely. It's great. What is something you thought that you would love, but then you didn't like it?
Something that I thought I would love. Okay. So I thought that I would love, also going back to work, because for me, work was a big part of my life. When I worked in finance, it was hours, it was 13, 14-hour days. And I thought that when I moved back here to the States, when I opened up the business loans brokerage, I thought I loved it. And I went and got a nice office, and I wore like suits and all like buttoned up and everything like that. And I thought I loved the work itself, but I didn't. What I loved was all the perks around it. The office, the view, maybe dressing up, looking nice, why not? But the job itself, although I was helping business owners get fundings, I wasn't passionate. To be honest, I wasn't about knowing that I wake up in the morning, oh, let me go make some calls and talk to some business owners. I wasn't that passionate about that. So
that's
what,
that's a big realization, right? To differentiate what you like about something.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Are you the first person on the dance floor?
I'm the first of the first of the first. I'm the first one there and the last one out.
That does not surprise me at all.
I'm the first one there and the last one to leave the dance floor. 100%.
Awesome. And I can see you probably creating some dance moves while you're out there.
Not only am I the first one on the dance floor, but I make sure to grab as many people to follow me as possible to make sure that everybody's having a great time.
Oh, that's so awesome. Love it.
I don't like that, but you know, I don't pull them too hard. I just give them like a little.
Okay, just gentle tugs. Yeah. Sharing the vibe. I love that. Great. I think I've seen that on some Sunday calls with you.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
Okay. If you could share one thing about yourself with other people, what would it be?
One thing that people don't know about me, or just in general?
Whatever you'd like people to know. What's one thing you'd want to tell them?
One thing that I want to tell them is that I love doing random acts of kindness. And can I tell you a quick story?
Of course, please.
So, and this just happened just about an hour ago. So before we, well, I went to Ralph's, and I went to this Ralph's that I go to the past 3 years since I've been here, basically. And there's, you know how you have the by the way, Ralph's is a grocery store, if you don't have it.
Oh, okay. We don't have them here, so good to know.
Okay, so Ralph's is like a well-known chain of grocery stores. I really like it. It's like Whole Foods, basically. So I went to Ralph's, and you know how you have your self-checkout part of the Ralph's? So there's about 4, I think, cash registers or whatever, the scanners. So there's a woman there, that employee that she works there, and she, I think, you're in her 40s, and she's been there since I can remember. I think it's like a few years before I even started going there. And today I went to buy some like yogurt and stuff like that, some groceries, and I was heading out. She was always there, and she's so nice. Like, she's super nice all the time. And she's even nice to the people that are not nice. What I mean by that is, you know how somebody can like an employee, hey, how's your day going? And then that person's like, good. You know, you can tell that he's like,
yes,
he did have a horrible day. I don't know. But anyway, so she's super nice, super kind. I love that. I was walking to my car with my bag after I said thank you. Her name is Leslie, I think. Yes. So I went to my car, and then while I was walking to my car, I saw another lady that stepped out of the Ralph's with 2 bouquets of flowers and roses, I guess, or whatever. She went to her car. I was like, that's an idea. I went to the car, dropped off my grocery bag, went back into Ralph's, and they have a flower section. I went there and I bought a bouquet of flowers. Nothing huge, right? But nice. Nice.
Yeah.
Like, wow. And then I walked towards the self-checkout where Leslie, that's her name, Leslie was there. And she was pretty busy because there's a lot of people there. But I came to her and I saw the name tag. I was Leslie, right? She's like, yeah, hi. I was like, hi, Leslie. So I know you're busy, but I've been coming to this Ralph for the past almost 3 years. And every time I see you, you are just the nicest person I've ever seen. You're so kind. You're always smiling. Even if it's under the mask, you can tell you're laughing. And no matter what. So this is just a gesture. This is like a random act of kindness. What I tell her exactly, I don't remember. I think I told her this is a small token of appreciation from me. And I gave her the flowers, and she was like shocked. All of a sudden she was shocked, and she started tearing a little bit. And yeah, it was, and she wanted to hug me. I wanted to hug her. I don't know, because of COVID. So, you know, I didn't want to, but that right there is something that I want to know about. I want people to know about me. And just by sharing this, hopefully whoever listens to this would want to do that too, because I think there's no better feeling. There isn't a better feeling than making someone randomly feel good about themselves.
Yes. Yes.
And that's just something that literally just happened. So I had to share it. So yeah.
Oh, I love that. That's an amazing story. And it's like, So amazing to get flowers, especially on the spur of the moment, totally unexpected. So that's so sweet. I love that. I'm going to remember that. Thank you.
Absolutely.
What is your favorite word and why? And what is your least favorite word and why?
Least?
Most and least.
Oh, okay. So my favorite word, I would say it's happiness. Although I do have a few other words, but let's stick with one. Happiness is definitely my favorite word. As you know, I'm all about happiness, happiness, happiness. Choose to be happy. And my worst is mean.
Yes.
When I hear that word mean, it brings a lot of things to my mind. About me as a child, about others, to others. Just mean is.
I get that. It's got a lot of energy, that word. But I love happiness. Happiness is amazing.
All the time.
Awesome. Do you fight fair in an argument?
Oh, I was gonna say, wait, I don't fight.
Hypothetically.
Argument. I would say that I used to not. I was very stubborn, and I would not fight fair. But now, yes, I do fight fair. I'm more aware. I'm more relaxed, more, settled, I would say, or whatnot. But yeah, I do fight fair. Yes.
Okay. If you said no, I'd be like super shocked, but no's an option. Who in history would you want to help or stop?
Who in history I would want to help or stop? I would want to stop Hitler, because growing up in Israel, being Jewish, obviously, that's a big thing that we learn from a very young age in school. Every year we have a whole ceremony and all that, and they show us all kinds of stuff about the Holocaust and all that. And for me, yes, I would definitely want to be there and stop.
For sure, exactly. History. Well, who knows what history would look like now, but absolutely.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. And not only him, obviously, anyone that did bad and wrong to people.
For sure, absolutely. Okay, so for this question, you're going to have to suspend a lot of disbelief. Okay, just go with it.
All right.
I think this is going to be a hard one for you, but let's see.
Let's do it.
All right. Sweet or sour candy or something only salty?
Only salty. Popcorners. Popcorners.
What are popcorners?
Check it up. Look it up online. Google it. Amazon it. Popcorners. Blue cheese. White cheddar, I think it's called. Love it.
Okay, I'll check it out. If it's an approved by you snack, I'm going to check it out. Okay, all right, last question. What fictional place do you wish you could visit?
Fictional place.
Fictional place, yes.
Wow, that's a great, interesting question. I haven't seen any cartoons in a while, but the last Disney movie that I saw was Lion King, the new one. Right.
I
don't know if it's a fiction place, I guess, but I would want to be there when Timon and Pumbaa, they were it's all green and butterflies, nature. I guess that would be a fiction place. So I would definitely want to visit there.
That sounds pretty cool. With them, of course. I need the whole scene.
Absolutely.
Okay, awesome. All right, before we wrap up, do you have anything else you want to share, throw out, tell us about you, anything at all?
Yeah, so I want to share, or not about me, I want to thank you for actually hosting this and conducting this interview, because this was super fun. And I haven't actually talked about myself in a very long time like this, and it just feels amazing. So it really, yeah, it got me thinking just, I don't know, how I, go about my clients like yourself and stuff like that, and having you guys talk more about yourself. It feels good. It feels great to talk about it. So,
well, thank you for being here. I actually learned some stuff I didn't know about you, and I talk to you all the time. So that's pretty cool.
I can leave you off with one weird thing one weird thing about me, an extra question. This is a bonus question.
Okay, cool.
One weird thing about me, it's about traveling, right? And let's say it's pre-COVID. Let's say it's pre-COVID, okay?
Yes.
I love connections, delays. I love long flights. And why I say that's weird, because a lot of people do not like connections. They would rather have a straight flight. They don't like delays. Like when let's say your airline delays your flight for like 6 hours, what do you normally do? You're like, 6 hours. You get I love it, because for me, traveling is a big part of my life. And for me, there's delays. Obviously, this was pre-COVID. I would hop on into the lounges. And when I hear a delay of whatever hours, if it's like 10 hours, then I would go out and walk around the area that I'm in, right?
Yeah, that's cool.
Or if it's a few hours, just walk around the airport. For me, the airport is one of the best, most high vibrational energy places in the world, because everybody's normally happy. Normally they're flying, they're traveling, they're in that vacation mode. So that's a bonus question or answer that I want to put out there.
That is very cool. And I actually agree with you. There's time to get stuff done. There's time to maybe meet people. And airports are pretty cool. And even like the shops in the airport, right? They're super expensive, but they look really nice.
Everything. They're super expensive. Super expensive. Yeah.
But it's still fun to browse to. So awesome. All right. Thank you for that.
Absolutely.
All right, Nadav. So thank you for being here tonight. It's so awesome to connect with you as always. And we'll touch base again soon.
Thank you for having me.
Okay. Good night.
Bye. Good night.